Investigation into Friday's fatal gas explosion in Lewisville is just beginning. But tonight, one critic says the explosion has troubling similarities to another back in 2008. A ruptured gas line and a failure to evacuate nearby homes. And again, a fatal explosion more than an hour after the gas company was notified of a leak.
Our Brett Shipp covered that story as well, and he joins us now with details. Brett?
John and Gloria, that fatal 2008 explosion was in McKinney. Atmos Energy was found at fault and fined for not doing more to save lives. Now another line strike, another explosion, and another death. Did Atmos do enough to protect the public this time? Tonight, News 8 investigates. May of 2008, a contractor in a McKinney neighborhood accidentally struck a 3-inch underground gas main. More than an hour passed and no homes had been evacuated when suddenly, first one, then another exploded. Enough gas had seeped underground to fill the homes and ignite. Attorney Clay Miller represented one of the homeowners who suffered life-threatening burns.
He was never warned. No one ever knocked on his door and said there's a leak outside. No one ever said you may need to evacuate their house. He was given no warning whatsoever.
Atmos Energy and its contractor were fined $80,000 by the state. Company president John Paris told the public back then Atmos is obligated to learn and prevent this in the future. Now, 4.5 years later in Lewisville, a very similar set of circumstances. An electric company strikes a larger 4-inch gas main. Firefighters evacuate homes downwind, but 55-year-old Scott Deal is allowed to stay in his home just 50 feet away upwind from the leak. 2.5 hours go by when his house explodes. 3 days later, he died. Lewisville fire officials say they evacuated homes based only on wind patterns. They say they were never told by Atmos of a potential underground gas migration threat. That despite Atmos being warned by state officials in 2008. The sewer system is a critical system that must be checked for gas migration because it has a direct path to homes.
What the lesson that was learned in that Atmos should have learned was that even if you have a leak that is far away from a structure, that gas will tend to find its way through sewer lines, water lines, sewer cleanouts, and find its way in and under these buildings.
The cause of the explosion is still under investigation and no determination has been made of how gas traveled the short distance to Deal's home. Atmos crews were testing the ground for gas before the explosion. Atmos officials dismiss any connection to the 2008 McKinney explosion. Quote, each incident is unique in nature and the circumstances of one event cannot be compared to another, particularly when third parties are involved. Now, third-party gas line ruptures and leaks are very common and a big problem. If one occurs within feet or even a few hundred yards of your home and you know about it, don't wait to be evacuated. Open windows and get to fresh air and wait until authorities tell you the coast is clear. Brett Shipp, Channel 8 News.